Good afternoon, children. Continuing with the previous class, we'll today move ahead with the part of the periodic table. In the previous class, we have discussed about elements, compounds, type of elements, type of compounds. We have seen that there are three types of elements: metals, non-metals and metalloids. Compounds are of two types: ionic compound and covalent compounds. In the previous class, I have told you all to explore the periodic table, go through the periodic table and then find out which all metals are there, which non-metals are there. Because children, this is the very basic thing which is needed for chemistry. You should be able to identify the metals, non-metals and metalloids. You should be able to identify which is an ionic compound, which is a covalent compound. So all these are the very basic things. That is why it is the basic concept of chemistry. You have been studying all through these years about ionic compound, covalent compound. You have come across these terms, but then it should be very much fixed in your mind. You should be very much clear with these concepts. What does it mean when I say it is an ionic compound, or it is a covalent compound, or when I say it is an element or atom or molecule? So like how I have told in the previous period that we are going to see the structure of atom, this very basic things, and about the periodic table. So here let us discuss first what are some simple tricks to learn the periodic table. We'll discuss a few, and then you get even from the YouTube many different ways to learn the periodic table. You can utilize or you can accept any method which you like, but the thing is that you should be able to learn. So basically the periodic table is distributed into four parts. These vertical columns, they are known as groups, and horizontal rows, they are known as periods. So these are the groups. These are also groups. More about groups, period, modern periodic table you will learn in the class 10th. Here we will see just the basic things. And these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they are known as periods. Periods means horizontal rows. Groups means vertical columns. So here you can see that there are total 18 groups in the modern periodic table, and there are 7 periods in the modern periodic table. Okay. Now the elements which are there in these groups, we need to learn their sequence. If we learn the sequence, it becomes more easy to understand their properties, the properties of the elements, how do they react. We are not going to go much in detail about their properties and their reactions and all. We just basically want to learn a part of the periodic table this year, which will help you every time further also. Okay. So right now we are excluding this part, the middle part, that is group 3 to 12. We will also be excluding this down part of the periodic table. If you will open in your book, you will get that down also. There are 2 rows. We are not going to see that. We are not going to see this part. For now we are going to see which elements are there in the first and second group, which elements are there in 13 to 18 groups. And believe me children, it is very easy to remember. We can frame some sentences by combining all those letters which form the symbol of these elements. And thereby you can learn that sentence, and from that you can recollect which element should be there. For example, the first element is hydrogen. Now if you see in the periodic table, this hydrogen has been placed separately. Means it is not attached in this way, it is. So it is a separate element. Again, new versions if you will see of the periodic table, then this hydrogen will be somewhere in the middle, over here in the periodic table. Why it is so, we will discuss it the next year. Okay, so first element is hydrogen. Then comes lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So till the 7th period we have filled the first column, that is the first group. Now how to remember? Okay, we can remove hydrogen separately we will not include it in the first group as it is a separate element, does not fall into any group, any period. Okay. It is there in the first period, but we don't consider it into any group. Okay. So we'll start from here. Li, na, ne is silent. Ki, rab, se, faryad. Leena ne ki rab se faryad. So when we are framing a sentence, there may be some small connecting conjunctions or some words which we have to keep them silent. For example, Leena, then ne. Only in order to make the sentence meaningful, we add some. So ne is silent. Leena ne ki rab se faryad. Faryad. Leena ne ki rab se faryad. Now when you remember such a sentence, thereafter you have to slowly leave that sentence and you have to more focus on the names of the element. Otherwise what will happen? You will nicely remember Leena ne ki rab se faryad, but you will not remember lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Okay, so this is the first group. Second group is beta, mange, car, scooter, ba, razi. So it is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. Beta, mange, car, scooter, ba, razi. So in this way you can learn the second group as well. The 13th group is बैगन, आलू, गाजर, in थैला. Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. बैगन, आलू, गाजर, in थैला. So these are the elements of the 13th group. Then 14th is काशी गए संत प्रभु. Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. See children, how easily we can construct the whole periodic table on our own, just by remembering and then moving on to the actual names of the elements. Kashi gaye Sant Prabhu. Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. Then 15th. Now there will be a question in your mind how to remember the first element. If we remember the first element, it will become easy to complete it. So you have also to learn the first 20 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. Means till calcium. The sequence of the elements you should know. First 20 elements means these elements are arranged according to the atomic numbers. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1. Of helium is 2. Similarly for lithium 3, beryllium 4, boron is 5, carbon is 6. Then comes nitrogen. Nitrogen is 7, oxygen is 8, fluorine is 9, neon is 10. So like this also, this sequence also we can learn. Vertical, we are going to learn a part, so that we by learning what will happen for the further studies also it is important, and you easily come to know which is a metal, which is a non-metal. Yes, so we'll do it. The next element starts with, the next group starts with nitrogen. Nana Patekar, Aishwarya, Sab, Bindast. Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Nana Patekar, Aishwarya, Sab, Bindast. The 16th group, Us, Se, Ti, Po. It is oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Then is Fir, Kal, Bahar, Ai, and D. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. And the last one is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and read on. So the last one, the names are very rhyming. You can just remember in this way, or you can create your own way. It is not necessary what sentences I am speaking here. The same sentences you have to remember. Even you can create your own. Creating our own helps us remember it more better. Okay, so here we have created. Now you must be thinking that in the first two groups there are elements in the 7th period, but here we have remembered only till the 6th period elements. So the reason is that here whichever elements are there, some of them their original names are there, some of them IUPAC rules are there, and as such these elements are highly radioactive. Radioactive means their existence is for a very short span of time. They get changed into some other element within a few seconds, within a few minutes. So not necessary for now to remember these elements. Yes, as you go for further in the further classes, then those elements also you can learn. But now for now, remember in this way. Children, it is very easy even to remember the atomic numbers. Here it will be 11, then 12, then 13, then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. So till 20 atomic numbers we have done, and further atomic numbers we don't need as of now. You should remember till 20 elements, and these are the noble gas elements. This also you should know. So there is a difference between noble and noble. Don't use the spelling noble for these noble gas elements. Noble is someone who is ideal. So these are the ideal group elements for all these elements. In the last period we have discussed that every element wants to become just like a noble gas element. Yes. So why they want to become like a noble gas element? Because they are noble. Yes, they are ideal. They are satisfied. So every element are not, all the elements are not like them. So each element wants to become like a nearest noble gas element. Nearest means like fluorine is there, it will want to become like neon. Chlorine is there, it will like to become like argon. If potassium is there, it will like to become like argon. If calcium is there, it will want to become like argon. So every element wants to become like the nearest noble gas element. And for that, elements can gain, lose or share electrons. Now in the previous video you have seen, if you don't recollect, again you should watch it again. Why, when, in which condition element will lose electron, when it will gain electron, when it will share electron. We have discussed all these things. And when an ionic compound is formed or a covalent compound is formed. So all these things we have already discussed. You can go through it. Okay. So today, after watching the video, write this in your notebook. In this way, complete the groups, and below this you write those sentences which we have just now discussed. लीना ने की रब से फरियाद, बेटा मांगे कार स्कूटर बाप राजी, बैगन आलू गाजर इन थैला, काशी गए संत प्रभु, नाना पाटेकर ऐश्वर्या सब बिंदास, उससे टीपो, फिर कल बाहर आई आंटी, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. The last one also, there is a sentence by which you can remember, but I am leaving this up to you. You decide, you construct at least one sentence you can create of your own to remember these elements. So this is your today's work that you will write on this after writing this part of the table in your notebook. I hope so. Previous work also you are continuing with. Now what we will do is we'll just see a small basic thing about the atom, like how the atom is actually. When we are all the time speaking that atom is like this and atom has electrons and those electrons are lost or gained or like that. So we should be familiar with how the atom is when we are speaking so many things about the atom. So the atom is basically having two parts. One is the center of the atom and the other part is orbits. So these are the orbits. Orbits are nothing but they are circular path. Orbits are circular paths. Okay. So this is the nucleus and these are the orbits. Atom as such is so small, is so tiny that it can't be seen by any microscope. Its exact image can't be seen. But some scientists, they have tried to see the image of an atom by scanning tunneling microscope. But that too, it is just a blurred shadow image, not the exact atom anyone has seen till now. But still we consider atom to be spherical. There is a nucleus inside the atom. One more thing children, there are many theories about the structure of atom. For now, this theory we will accept because for class 9, this much is sufficient to know that the atom is spherical. We consider it to be. It has a nucleus in the center. These are orbits, or we can call them as circular paths. We are going to study, there is a whole chapter about structure of atom, but that we will study in the second term. So before we go to that chapter, at least some basic ideas we should have, which you have already done in class 8. So these are circular paths. In the nucleus of the atom consists of protons and neutrons. And these orbits of circular path, they carry electrons. Now you can see the difference in the size of the atom and the nucleus of the atom. The nucleus of the atom is very small, and the size of the atom is very big as compared to that of the nucleus. The nucleus is carrying protons and neutrons all together inside into this small volume. So you can think about the size of the protons and electrons, protons and neutrons, how small they will be. Okay, just it is all imagination about how must be the size and all. Yes, there are values, but just now we are not concerned with those values or not. The protons and neutrons, they are in the nucleus of the atom, and electrons are there in the circular path. So proton, neutron and electron, they are known as subatomic particles. They are the subatomic particles. And protons, they are denoted by the symbol P and they carry positive charge. Neutrons are denoted by the symbol N. They don't carry any charge. And electrons, they are denoted by E minus. They carry negative charge. So proton, neutron and electron. Electrons are continuously moving in these circular paths. Protons and neutrons, they are held together inside the nucleus of the atom. So proton and neutron can't easily leave the nucleus and go out of the atom. Electrons are moving in the circular path, so they can easily, those electrons which will be in the outermost circular path, they can leave. Now I have made here 3 circular paths. So it is not necessary every atom will have 3 circular paths. It will depend on how many electrons the atom is holding. For example, hydrogen has only 1 electron, so hydrogen will have only 1 circular path. Sodium will have 3 circular paths. The capacity of first circular path or first orbit is 2 electrons, second is 8, third is 8. So like that it keeps on growing with the number of electrons which are there in the atom of the element. Okay. After this, so this much is clear. Electron can enter into the atom, electron can move out of the atom. Proton, neutron, they can't leave and go. Electrons are very light as compared to the mass of the protons. Protons are nearly 2000 times heavy as compared to the electrons. Protons and neutrons, they have nearly same mass. And the charge we have seen, proton is plus charge, electron minus charge, and neutron, it does not have any charge. After this, I will be sending you the electronic configuration of the first 20 elements After seeing the video, you just write that also in your notebook. Electronic configuration means distribution of electrons. Suppose sodium is having 11 electrons. So where are these 11 electrons? 2 are in the first orbit, then 8 are in the next. So 2 and 8 becomes 10, and 1 is in the last shell. These circular paths are also known as shells. Shells, orbit, circular path, they are also known as energy levels. You just remember orbit, shells or circular path. So sodium, its atomic number is 11. Atomic number means that is the number of protons as well as the number of electrons in the neutral atom. So sodium, as it is having 11 electrons, the configuration will be 2, 8, 1. What do these 3 digits indicate? The first orbit in sodium will have 2 electrons. The second shell will have 8 electrons. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And the last digit is 1. So the third shell will have 1 electron. So this is what is indicated by the electronic configuration. Electronic configuration indicates the distribution of electrons in the orbits or in the shell around the nucleus of the atom. So I will be sending you first 20 elements, the electronic configuration. You will be learning those after writing, and periodic table I have already told you that you have to write whatever is there in the video. You can pause and you can make it. And one more thing, there are certain common names which you have to remember of certain compounds, like methane is also known as marsh gas, and then calcium carbonate is obtained in the form of limestone, or it is also obtained in the form of chalk, marble. So these certain common names of some chemicals you should remember. It is not a part of any syllabus, but every time you read somewhere or the other, such names you will come across. So these all things also you need to learn. So that list also I will be sending, and I will also send you the excuse me, electronic configuration of the first 20 elements. So that also you will write. So here nearly all basic concepts which are useful for class 9 we have nearly completed, and from the next video we are going to start with the actual syllabus of class 9, the first chapter of class 9, that is matter in our surroundings. Thank you, children.